Hello, Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and welcome back to my channel. And today is all about collage. And I was inspired by Junk Journal Joy to do these pieces here. And so we are going to do one of those today. But I thought, well, let me just go and talk about collage in general, because we all do collaging to some degree. This is a very simple collage. This is a tag from a charm from Hobby Lobby. The fairy tale was on the tag. So this is a very simple collage. All it has is the tag and what was already on it. Some music paper that I just did bits to cover up what I didn't want to show, and dried flower that it has been decoupaged onto the tag. And then some paper on the back for journaling. This is a simple collage. Easy, 3 pieces. That's all you need to make a collage, and you have done it. So that's a simple collage. Then we get into something a little more involved. And this was done in 2019 on a Rolodex card. And I did the Margarete Miller collage challenge. I've been doing those, and I started in 2017 when she started those challenges. And I started, as you see here, this is from 2019, on these small, they're 3x5. I think they're 3x5 Rolodex cards. Yeah, 3x5. Yep. And so this is a more involved collage. This was one I did. She gives you prompts, and you do the prompts, and she gives you a bonus. So you've got five prompts and then a bonus. So you have six things to choose from. I try to do all 6 if I can. And so this is one I did that just seemed to fit into a tribute to my mom. She was a seamstress. She made my clothes as a little girl, and her birthday is in April. So this was kind of, and these are sewing spools, the tops of sewing spools. So this was just a little collage I did for the Margarete Miller challenge that was a nod to my mom. And then this is another one I did, and this one is from also 2019. But it is, again, we've got the prompts listed. And this has stamping. This is newspaper, washi, a photo, music, and another book page of some variety, and some washi down here. So this is a different collage that's also a little more involved. So you can have a very intricate, lots of going on collage, or you can have simple collages. This one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And that is another collage. So that's just a little pocket envelope I've made. Then I have these. And these are ones that I was inspired to do from Junk Journal Joy. Oh, and this is even a simpler collage. There's only 3 things here too. Background, book page, and an image. And that is a collage. So collages can be simple, they can be intricate, they can be whatever you want them to be. So these, again, let me just go back. These are inspired by Junk Journal Joy. We're going to make one today. But first, before we do, a couple of things. One, I wanted to ask what you thought about this being on the cover of this little book. I kind of like it, but I thought I would get your idea as well. And this little book is, I am doing the 2022 Margarete Miller Collage Challenge, and I'm doing it in this little book. So I'm going to show you those. I've just got 2 that I'm going to show you in that. So I'm going to show you that before we make these collage pieces. But I would like to know what you think about this one on the cover. So there is that. Now, let me show you my collages real quick. In this little book, the pages are 5 by 5, so it's a small little book. You can order and download the prompts for the 52 weeks of the year on Margarete Miller's website. Now, I will link her video below about this 2022 challenge. And so I just put the rule, or the how you do this is here with a little, this is tissue paper for wrapping, for inside of gifts, book page, and this flower is cut from a greeting card. And then I have the first page. I've not done it in a book before, so this is the first time. I think I'm gonna like that idea. So here is the prompts, and this is how they look. I've printed mine on parchment paper. So on the number one, which is number 1, you have something magical, time, translucent paper, such as tracing paper, vellum, or tissue, furniture, something triangle, and for the bonus, a place. You have 5 prompts and then a bonus that you can use if you wish, or if you don't want to. You don't have to, but you also can replace one of these prompts with the bonus if you can't find something that's in there. So here is my collage for this. The something magical, I chose this fairy tale princess to be my magical thing. The clock represents time. The translucent paper is the background, which is the same as this, which is the wrapping paper tissue, the wrapping tissue. The furniture is my postage stamp up here that has the chair. Something triangular is this piece of this little pendant, which is fabric, and it is a cigarette silk kind of thing that comes from the same as a cigarette card, but they also did fabric pieces, and this is from that, and I think Williams is a college. But I'm thinking this princess is from the House of Williams. Anyway, so this is my triangular piece. This is from the late 1800s, early 1900s. And then the place, so I did all 6. The place is her castle, and it is on this stamp. So that is my collage for week 1. And then for week 2, we have this collage. And the prompts are something that lives in a forest, a scrap from a paper pad, a playing card either side or a portion of, something postal, cursive writing, and something stapled. So for the something that lives in the forest, I have mushrooms and the deer. From the scrap paper, or a scrap from a paper pad, is this scrap that is from a scrapbooking paper pad. Then a playing card on either side. Well, this deer is a playing card, so I used the back side with this lovely image. So that's my playing card. And then something postal is this stamp that is from an envelope that I punched out, and the cursive writing is also from that same envelope, and there is cursive writing in this scrapbooking paper up here. And then something stapled. Well, first I did these circles with my glue stick, which I used the the Scotch Create, and I used the bottom to stamp those circles. And then I stapled this piece of paper on either side as if it were stapling the ring down. So that's my collage for week 2. So I just wanted to show you that real quickly. And now we'll move on to making a collage and making these little cluster things right here. So first, you need an image to use on top. I think I'm going to try this. We'll see how that works. So that's going to be my image for this one. Then I'm going to use packing paper. This is just packing paper from an Amazon package. And so I'm just going to rip this down. No, just a size you think you will use. And then I'm going to use some book page, and this is my glue book paper that I do my gluing on with glue stick and all that to protect my surfaces. So that's going to be next. Let's see how big we think that needs to be. So that'll be next. I think I'll just do it like this. I do not mind that you can see shiny where I have used glue stick, because this is going to cover up most of it. And so you just layer those on top, just like that. And then I have some music sheets right here. So I'm going to rip me off a little bit of music paper. Here. And we'll just rip this off. I'm just going to use this right under here, just like that. I think up there. And that's really all you need. That right there is really all you need. You can do more. You can add more. You can do whatever suits you as far as that goes. I did have, I think I've used it. I used it on one of these. So let's see. I don't have any more. I was going to use some of the back side of a security envelope, but I have a little bit of typewriting instruction book here that I'm going to use some of that print. I think we'll see how that looks. Might not like it, might not need it, might not want it. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the music sheet. So we have the music sheet here. I'll get those out of the way. So we have just 4 layers. You have your brown paper, whatever brown paper you have. We have a book page. I'm going to cut this. I don't like this straight edge here, so I'm going to tear this a little bit. Just like that. And I have my book page, which will go on top, and we'll just kind of stagger that so you can see some of the brown paper around. Then I have my image, which is here. Okay, and that is just going to be just like that. And then I'm going to put some of this music paper up here. I think I had this moved over a little bit more, I think. Like that. Yes, I like that better. Now, maybe this needs to go over here because I want to use a wax seal. Put that under the book page. Let's try that. Let's see what I think about that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay, let's try that. So I mean, it's just a matter of adjusting it until you like what you see. And I'm going to see different than you see. So, you know, you may be hollering at me, no, do this, do that. I do that when I'm watching other people's videos. I go, no, you need to put it in this corner. But, you know, well, they can't hear me. But anyway, I'm going to use a wax seal like I did on here. All of these have a wax seal on them. So I'm going to do a wax seal on this one as well. I was going to put it over here on the left. I tend to do that all the time. Maybe I should make it be on the right, just to be different. So I think I will put it over here because then, yeah, it's kind of like, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And I have my wax seals right here. I do them ahead because I don't ever know when I'm going to do one. So I'm going to tear off a little bit of this Don't like the way that's looking. You can ink or not ink. That's totally up to you. I kind of, Jungle Joy inks, but she doesn't ink a whole lot. So I kind of enjoyed seeing her not ink as much as I might do even. I think I'm going to leave that as a white because this bow is white, and I kind of like, and the background of this frame is white, so I kind of like that. Now, I have these wax. I'm going to move this right over here, and I have these wax seals already done, and I have a bunch of them. So I have all of these. And I have all of these. Those are all snowflakes. Got a lot of snowflakes. And then these. So some of these, like this, I have used marker, the markers that are for the wax seals. You can use magic marker, that works. You can use gilding wax, that works. You probably could use a little bit of paint, just a little bit of paint on your finger to just bring that image out a little bit. So kind of like the rose, but the pink isn't quite right. I do have a purple. It happens to be a crown, but that's kind of a big one. So I don't know if that's what I want to use or not. I don't think it is. I really like the rose. I need the rose and a purple. But maybe I'll do pink. I don't know. It's really just whatever you feel like. I like the rose. Let's see. This rose is in white with marker to bring out the rose. I kind of like that one. Might do that one instead. I also have a heart that's in red. Don't like that. Have a dragonfly that's an oval. Don't like that. Have a bee, which is not too bad, but I don't think so. Have tree. Ooh, the color of the tree is good with the background of her, but it is too stands out too much. Don't want. I kind of want it to but not be the focal. Just want it to kind of blend in. Like the number 7 would be good. Lucky number 7. Nope, don't like that color. So far, I'm liking the bee the best. This one is just colored with a marker. Okay, the feather is nice with white. And I used gilding wax on this, but I think I might have used a marker on this. Let me get my gilding wax because it didn't go around the edge, and I want to do that. So I can show you how that looks, and a little tip about the waxes and things. Because I'm using this is my gold from My Art. And it is gold, and that's what I can use this on feather, kind of like the feather idea. And you just put a little on your finger and just go around it. And then I usually try to rub it off some, because it will rub off until it dries. And then it just gives you a little bit extra, so you can see the border of that, and it gets all over your hands, but it washes off very easily. And then if I didn't want to quite get so much in the center there, so I can wipe some of that off, but that's okay. I don't mind that. So I think that might be what I use. I think that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to get all these out of the way. One other thing I'm going to use is I've used some sort of string or paper or something around it. So I'm going to use this same string again. Which is right here. So I'm going to use this around it. So now let's go. Oh, let me tell you my tip about gilding wax. This is the gold, and this is a product for that. This cost whatever it costs. I don't remember. I've had it a long time. This is copper, but this is cream eyeshadow from the Dollar Tree, and it works just as well. So I'll take this, let's see, let me see one that hasn't been colored. This 5 right here has not been colored. So I'm going to use my finger tool, as Pam at the Paper Outpost says, and I'm going to just rub it on here a little bit, just like that. And it works just as well as the gilding wax. Just as well. I got a little bit on there that I don't need on there. Well, shucks. So let me get, I don't like it in that little corner right there. And this little corner right here. So let's see if I can get some of that out. There we go. So there is that. And just a light touch. I did it a little heavier than I should. So I also can use this little there we go. Get down in there, but I don't want it as much in there. There we go. That's a little better. Anyway, so that is Dollar Tree cream eyeshadow. Works great. So it's a lot cheaper. You can get other colors like pink and blue and purple and whatever. Okay, so that was my little tip. Now, on to our collage. So, what I normally like to do is I'm not gonna ink around those edges yet. It's got lots of copper on me. I'm not gonna ink around those edges yet because I will ink later, I think, because I want to just kind of sporadically hit it, not it be solidly all the way around. So that's how I want that to be. So I'm going to take this, my glue, and I'm going to do, I was watching somebody else do, you know, a layering thing, and I'm going to shift this around just a little bit more, and they glue from the top down. It's a brilliant idea. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to tear this off just a little bit more because I want more music to show. So I'm terrible about being in frame, so sorry guys. So I'm going to tear that off a little bit more because I want to pull it out more and I want more of the music to show. Like that. I'm also going to tear this a little bit. There we go. Okay, I like that. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of inking around this. And I'm going to glue from the top down. And the way I do that is I take my top image, and I know it's right around here. So I'm going to glue that there. And if I go over the edge, I just clean that up. And I'm going to take this and glue it down there, and this and glue it down there. You don't have to go all the way to the edge because you're going to do some other distressing. And that should have all of my pieces of paper glued together. I like that. I like the way that looks. And then, let me lift you up just a bit. Then I take the layers and I go underneath and finish gluing down the pieces as I go. So there's that one. We'll just do this. I'm just going to do it in the middle. Do this one. And that should get me. Now all your pieces are glued together and you didn't have to try to remember how you had it laid out. Works great. Okay, so there is that. Now what I will do is I'm going to tatter the edges a bit. So I'm going to tear the different layers in different ways all the way around. I don't know if I want, don't think I want to tear through the picture though. So I'm just gonna kind of tear it and tatter it all the way around different areas. And then, excuse me. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. And then I was gonna bend up the edges. I think I got this one glued down, which I did not want to do. So I'm gonna bend the edges and crinkle the edges and make them look a little more crumpled, a little more tattered, like it's been through the years, like it has taken a tumble through the years. Okay, and then I'm going to crumble that up really good right there. Then I said this needs a little bit more. I'm going to use my glue stick. That needs to, I want that to be glued down just a little bit more right here. So I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue right under that, just because I'm afraid that will tear off rather than crumple. So that's that. Okay, there. Now, I think I like that. Okay, now I like it all crumpled, and I use frayed burlap usually. I used to use vintage photo all the time, and then I got the frayed burlap, and so now I've been using that all the time. So I am going to ink it a little bit, just because it needs to get. I need to get a frame, Pamela. Okay, so just a little bit of inking, just to give it a little more grunge. I don't need to. It doesn't need to have a lot. Okay, there we go. That's enough. That's good. Okay, so there's that. Now, Junk Journal Joy, she used images like this, but these I did not use a person. So you can use any image. This one is a paper bag, little paper bag that I have this little tatter tag in here. So you can use whatever image you want on the front. I thought I'd try this one and see what I like, see if I liked it. And I kind of do, so I kind of like that white. So we've got white here, here, and here. So I kind of like that. I wish it wasn't quite so big, but it is. It'll be okay. Now I'm going to put my string on. And the way I do that is, and I don't remember exactly how Francesca put hers on, but I'm going to go in at a split, or make a split if there isn't one already. So let's see. Yes, I want it to, so I need to make another split right here. And the reason I do it like that, I don't remember if she did it like that or not, is because this outside is fragile enough that it doesn't, I don't think it's going to hold up if I just try to do it around that. I'm not real confident about what that will look like and what that will do. So I make a little slit so that I'm basically wrapping it loosely still, obviously, around my image. And let's see. You go way further down. I need a lot more thread. Let's try that. Now, I want it to look like, I want it to cross. Basically, I wrap it around twice, but I want it to cross where this is, and I want it to leave some tails out, some long tail. I'm going to leave it hanging down long. So that needs to go there, and around there. Yep, around here. Oops, I'm out of frame again. Gosh, sorry. Okay, so I've got a little slit there and a little slit right there. So I'm going around, I'm going to go around that again, and then I'm going to pull this up to right around right there. Let's see, and then pull this up right here. And I'm going to tie it right here. So you just have a little bit of interest there. You can't really see it, and you don't do it very tight because, well, I mean, you want it to be kind of loose because it actually has more texture if it's loose. You see it better. So, and it's going to be glued down just under this seal, so we don't need it to be very tight. And I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do a knot, just going to tie it once and then put my seal on it right here and then have these hanging down below it. And I thought I might do some flowers because I do have some purple flowers, and then I might not want to use that seal, that size seal, because the flower's going to take. So here's my flowers. Here's all my dried flowers, and I have these laminated, and I have some in envelopes and some in just tissue and vellum envelopes, and then these are in tracing paper. And I have these purple flowers right here. Well, I have one right there that I thought I might put under this like that. Let's see, I think I have some more. I have some more of those somewhere in here. So I have lots of dried flowers. I mean, every spring I am like walking the yard, picking up flowers, picking flowers to dry. And so I'm not seeing any more. They must be in my book that I press in. So let me get it and see what I see. Okay, so this is my book that I press in. And I'm going to make a journal out of it one day, just because I like it and it's fat. I like to make fat journals. Okay, that's more red. I thought I had some, these little purple flowers are things that only show up in the spring, and it's like a ground cover, and there's just this one section in my yard that it just is prolific there, and I don't see if I have any more. I thought I had more of those. I'm not seeing them right now. It is the same flower that I've used on this. It's the same little flower, but this might be a little bigger than I need for it to be. So let's see what I think about that. We can make that hang over the edge a little bit too if I want to. It doesn't have to be like right. It doesn't have to be completely on my little collage here. It can be kind of over it. And I want this to stick under the cording as well. So I think I may do it just like that. And I probably will snip off the end of the flower. Do it like that. What do you think? Too much? Is that seal going to be too big? That's my only problem. I don't have small. My seals are big around. I need to sit down. I'm standing and my back is hurting. So I won't be able to see in the camera. Well, kind of, sort of. I kind of, sort of can. Okay. What do you think about that? Is that okay? Is that too much? I am kind of not liking that. Kind of not liking that big a seal right there. So we could just not put a seal on this one. And I could just put the flower and just tie this in a bow, which would be a bow up there and a bow down here. Could put a button. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know what I think. I don't know. What do you think? I kind of like the flower on there, and it just matches perfectly. I think I'll do a button. I don't have a button pulled out, but if you'll bear with me, I'll get my buttons. Be right back. So I got to do this off camera. I have this huge jar of buttons. This huge jar of buttons that I'm gonna see if I can find something real quick that might work. In the meantime, I wish you could tell me what you thought. I think the wax seal is too big. I struggled with that with the other ones because they're kind of big, and this is a smaller project, but I think they turned out okay. This sun one, that one is a little bit smaller. Also, it depends on how much wax you pour out. So if you pour out a lesser amount of wax to make your seal, then the likelihood of it being not as big is greater. And if you don't, so if you have a little bit of wax and you mash it down, like this one, I didn't have as much wax, and it is a lot thinner than, say, this one is that I was going to use. See how much thicker the edge of that one is? This one is even thicker. The edge of that is just so thick, where I like it like this. So you have to practice, because I've obviously not gotten very good at it. I like this sort better, that has not as much around the outside of it, and that all depends. See, this is a smaller stamp. As you can see, the circle inside here is the size of the stamp, and this snowflake is a smaller one. So that snowflake would be a better size for this one, but a snowflake and a flower just doesn't go together. I guess you could say, well, it's flowers peeking out of the snow. You know, I suppose you could do that. But anyway, so I wish I had something that was smaller scale, or the rose is a nice size too. If it was in purple, I would use it. But it's not, and I don't want to spend your time for me to make some seals right now. We'll do that another day when I'm going to mass make some seals. So I'm just looking to see if I have anything that could work, that it doesn't have to be purple. It can be that color. I don't like that. It could be this color or this color. I don't like the dark in the middle of that one. It could be that. It's kind of a pearl looking. It could be a plain white. Don't like the white. Okay. I don't see anything that's in the purple family per se. I see something sort of in the rosy family, which I don't think it's going to look right. Nope. I don't like that either. Oh, I see it. I do see a purple. It's a smaller button, which may or may not be good. Might not be big enough. Guess you could have that problem too. So I do have a little purple right there. That doesn't do anything for me. I'm liking this little pearl one better. And what I may do is pull the strings up through the holes and tie that on. That would be cute. Don't you think that'd be cute? I think that'd be cute. I don't know, this string has these little textury knotted, is kind of almost like crocheted. So it has these little crocheted areas that are thicker, and I'm not sure it'll go through the hole. Now, the tails on this, I could still leave them fairly long. This one's right at the end, and I could cut this one right here, so I could leave it, make it be so I could do the button through there. I'd need to glue this down, though, so that I don't have to worry about it coming loose. I also could tie it in a knot, which would help. I'm thinking I like that. I think that's what I'm going with. I like the pearl one. So let me stick those back in. And those back in, and these back in, and the lid back on. Okay. Oops. Let me get these back in because I will lose them. I'm that way. I will lose them. It's terrible. I can't remember if I move something from where it was and I don't make a mental note, serious mental note about it, I will forget where I moved it to that was supposed to have been a better spot. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do that. I am going to glue down the flowers, and I am going to tie, I'll glue it down as well, but I'm going to tie this button on right there, I think. I'm just going to tie it through 2 of the holes. I wish it only had 2 holes. Could also use some of this thread and just stitch it through, glue it down and stitch it through. Okay, I'm going to glue down the flowers. And see how that looks. Hopefully we like that because it'll be too late if we don't. But that's okay because it'll look good. Whatever we do, it'll look good. So I'm just going to put some glue on these flower petals. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Let me move it up here, but I'm just putting dotting glue so that I can put these where I want them to be, which is right there. Okay, and that does nicely. You can then I use a matte medium. You can use a matte medium on top of that should you choose to. You do not have to. It is a little more durable if you do. Okay, so let me loosen this up a little bit. I got it a little too tight. You can tell right there. Okay, now I'm going to glue this here. I'm going to just put a glob of glue on this right here just to hold it in place because it's not wanting to stay. And the wax seal would be holding it, and I'm going to stitch the button on, so I want this to stay in the meantime. So I'm just going to glue it underneath it, and it'll glue that stem down a little bit too. And it doesn't matter about because the button will cover the glue if it blobs out too much there. Now I'm going to put a clip on that. Okay, now my button. So let's see, how much space do we have between, because I don't think I need a lot. Gonna go up, no, yes, no, yes. Gonna go up through here, down through here, just like, oops, I'm not even on screen, sorry. And then up through here, and I'm going to leave the tail out. And then I'm going to cut this off right before this section that's thicker. And then I'm going to stick this end back up through like this. And the reason I'm doing that is because, there we go. It's because I want to tie it on top. So we have that, and I'm going to tie this in a double knot, so that, and that's just because it'll have a little more texture if I do that, just like that. Okay, and it's quite flat on the bottom, so it should glue nicely. And then I'm just going to cut these off a little shorter. And the other thing I like to do with these is, let me show you, is I like to take my pokey tool and I spread out these threads if they're not already. These are pretty good, but I just take it and spread out those threads. More texture, more layer, more everything. There. So that's good. That's good. I like that. Okay, so this should be dry enough here to hold that. And then I will also have these hanging down. And I'm just going to stick the button right there. Just like that. I like that. I use art glitter glue for everything. And it has held buttons, it has held fabric, it has held, the only thing it does not hold, I have discovered, is nylon. If your fabric or your lace or whatever has a nylon in it, it will not stick. But that's the only thing I have found that won't stick. Okay, so I'm gonna do that right like that. Give that a minute to hold. So that is our little project for today, all about collage. And so there we are. Take this off. That's probably going to be dry. And then we have this hanging down like this. And I'm going to just cut this one off a little bit here. I'm going to leave this long enough that these little thicker parts of this strand is at the bottom like that. You also could put beads on it or something too. So I left these a little longer also, but I think the wax seal was just too big and I didn't have anything currently made that would fit, I thought. So there we are, and that is our little collaging project. Little scrappy bits, and you can just keep playing with this and get that just as tattered and as grungy and tattered, and more ink if you feel like you need it. It's all about your own creative process and what you like and what you want to do. I have my style, everybody else has their style, and ne'er shall the styles overlap. I mean, they might overlap, they won't repeat, because even if you're doing the same project as someone else, and if you had these exact same images, exact same things, yours is not going to look exactly like mine, because you might have not wanted your flowers over here. You might have wanted them over here, and you might have said, Pam, why are you putting them over there? That is not the best place. I do that when I'm watching videos. I'm going, put it down here, put it right there, and they, of course, can't hear me. So I like that. That turned out cute. So that's that project. Now, let me show you how I'm going to use it, besides on the cover of a book, like I showed you just a second ago. But I am making this, let me raise you up a bit. Okay, I am making this little book right here. So I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to put it on this page right here. I'm going to glue it down. It's going to hang over a bit, which will give some texture on this side. And yeah, that is the other side of that. And so it's just going to go right there, and I think it will fit beautifully in this little journal that I'm making now. I haven't put the signatures in. I have them stitched to, and then I've got some fabric reinforcing here. So this is something that I'm working on currently, and it's going to go right there. I think that is the spot that is made for that one. So that's going there. And then I would like to know what you think. I think I asked you this in the beginning, so I'll ask you again your opinion about this going here. I think this is where I want this to go. I think I like it, which it's mine, so I need to like it for sure. But I'd like to know what you think, just because it's fun to hear what other people have to think and what their thinking process is and why they think what they think, and that's what makes the world go round. So this is my project for today. all about collage, and I will link Junk Journal Joy, the video that inspired me to do this. I will link that below, and I also will link Margarete Miller's Collage Challenge 2022 video below, so you can check that out to see if that is something that you might like to participate in. I kind of like that. Isn't really, even with the purple on there, that's really not too bad either. I like the size of that on this too. It's not too bad. It's not bad. I don't mind that, but I actually think I like this. I like it. I like the size. I like the coloring. Yeah, I think that's the one. So anyway, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and thank you so much for following along on this one. I hope you've got some inspiration from me, like I did from Junk Journal Joy, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. 51 minutes? Seriously?